Oh, so have we started or no?
Yes.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Is anybody watching us?
It says there are
Okay.
2 people.
Hello. Can you go full screen over here so I can see it better?
This?
Yeah, hit the little. Oh yeah.
No.
I got Shane. Never mind. I'll shut up. Um, welcome to another episode of Shenanigans with Brent and Becky. Becky's running a little late today. Um, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure because it might have been a memo that I forgot or missed that I might be flying solo. Anyway, shop news. We'll knock that down real quick. Shop news. Check out our. Well, I guess if I would have checked my messages a while ago. Oh gosh, yeah. My phone is awesome. I just got a message from Becky. She's not feeling well, so I'm flying solo today. You guys got to see that real time. This is exciting. That's all right. Which means I wish I would have prepared a little bit better what I have in store for you all today. But anyway, shop news. We've got fabric. We got some new fabric came in. This new line from Kansas City Troubles, Daffodils and Dragonflies, is the this just came in yesterday. We've got it online. It is ready to buy at 11. I think it's $12.95 a yard. But price of fabric's going up. But it's Moda. It's really pretty. And Eddie just started quiz time on us, which is awesome. Yeah, just something just like popped up. But these are the these just came in. These are just a couple of coordinates. We actually have the case pack, which means I think we have 20 bolts that are 10 yards each of kind of a select cut of the case. So we have a lot of options. I just grabbed these 4 bolts here so that you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. But that's available. We have that online. That's Kansas City Troubles, Daffodils, and Dragonflies. That is here and ready to go. So if you like it and you're excited about it, buy some so I can buy more stuff. You guys got to buy like more fabric. I'm running out of space for fabric in the store, so I got to like sell more of it to make room for the new stuff. So that's in. Next, we still have a luminaire that did come in on trade. That's been cleaned up. It's ready to go. So if it's something you're interested in, we got a really good deal on that. There is special financing from Brother that we should be able to use on that. So keep that in mind if you're looking at a luminaire. Classes, we have the Jelly Roll Jiggle, which I probably should have grabbed the sample because Brenda just finished that up. That class is just about full. I think there was 2 seats left last I checked yesterday, and it's probably going to be full, but that's going to be next Thursday at 10 to 2, I believe. Check our calendar. It's on there. Another one that we just put on this week is the Tankini, another Thursday afternoon, another Thursday table runner. Tankini, so named after the Atkinson's design we're going to be using for it to make a Tankini, which is a table runner which they made to fit the top of your toilet tank. I'm not even joking when I say that. It's designed to go on your, it's like, and I think it's a fantastic idea because I never understood, like centerpieces I don't get. Because when you do a centerpiece, you've got to move it off the table if you want to do anything on the table. But a tankini makes perfect sense. How often are you getting into your toilet tank? Not very. It dresses it up quite nicely. If you want to just give your bathroom that little extra sophistication, make yourself a tankini. Or you can make a regular table runner. It comes in 2 sizes. I think the tankini idea is fantastic, if you can't tell. That being said, we also have Kimberbell, a Kimberbell event scheduled for the 22nd of October. Sign up for that. There's still a few seats left. And I think that's all I have for news. How are we doing? There's no live chats today. I feel like I'm talking to myself. Or do you have chats on your side?
Oh, wait.
What?
Maybe
Do I have the wrong one?
No, maybe it's just.
Or are we that sad today that nobody wants? Everybody heard that.
It just wasn't on there, I guess.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay, I don't feel like I'm alone now.
There you go.
Much better. Okay. I was like, I'm looking at a blank screen over there. I'm like, there's nobody watching. Not only did Becky's feeling sick, but my fans have abandoned me. Oh no. Anyway, that's all I have for shop news. Quiz time. As you all know, I don't have quiz time. I'm looking at my outline, and I have things on here that I have not prepared for. And shout out to Becky. I did get the text message. It's the timestamp is like hours ago, but of course I just checked it like minutes ago. So that's how it goes because I'm kind of sad like that. So I'm just going to get right into the workbench, because that's really all I have prepared today. I should have grabbed something else. It's been a long day, and this is going to be a quick one, I guess. I'm feeling kind of bad, like my fans are being let down. What we're going to talk about today, and you can all, if you all have like questions you want to type in, you can make this more interactive, and I can throw stuff out there. But what I have prepared today for the workbench has nothing to do with anything really. I was looking for questions to answer for the workbench, and a great question came up: why are rotary cutting mats green? So that was the question that I ran across, and I'm like, well, that's an interesting question. Why are rotary cutting mats green? And honestly, I didn't find an answer to it. My suspicion is just because that's the color Olfa decided to make the first ones, and they just kind of stuck. You can get them in all colors now, but the first ones were green, and so green kind of became the standard. I have no idea why they're green, but it sent me down a bizarre rabbit hole that I just thought would be a lot of fun to share. Did you get that image of the dress? Yeah. Throw that up there and superimpose me on it, because this is fast. Look at that, perfect. Look at that. This is the rabbit hole I fell down. Look at that dress. That dress. It's hard. See the dress right there. Sweet. That dress is Victorian era, as you can tell from it, and it is probably dyed in emerald green, which followed up Shields green. Now so I was, like I said, I was reading different theories of why rotary mats are green, and like there's this whole theory about how green dyes kill people, and so obviously nothing's in green, so we can make rotary mats in green so you can always see the fabric. And I'm like, hold on, back up, green dyes kill people, and they did, and that is what. Yes, Kaya, we're going to get into clothes at some point, but anyway, yes, green dyes kill people. That's what we're going to talk about today. How green dyes kill people. It was in the Victorian era. Green, if you didn't know this, dyeing fabric is a huge industry. It like goes back centuries. And the colors you can dye also made fabric more expensive or less expensive depending on the different colors. And if you study textiles, you'll notice some colors were in fashion, others not so much. In the early days of dyeing, before chemistry through better living through chemistry came along, you were limited to some of the dyes you could make, and they're always trying to come up with new dyes to be the in color. And green was always impossible to do because of the fact that it would often fade, and I think they said it would sometimes turn black because they often used copper as a base, which created problems as it started to oxidize. So green was a real hard color to do until 1775, when this Swedish guy named Carl Scheele, S-C-H-E-E-L-E, Scheele. I don't know, there's an awful in there. But anyway, he came up with this green dye called Scheele's green. This story is really fascinating. So, Scheele's green. You can put the dress back up if you wanted, so they can look at the dress instead of me. Or if you can find other pictures of the green, emerald green death, we can just kind of cycle through some fun stuff. So, Scheele's green came out in 1775, and it was a nice green. Another thing that was happening around this same time is they were going from candlelight to gaslight, which doesn't seem like much, but keep in mind, if you're going to a ball to show off your latest fashions to your friends, gaslight is a whole lot brighter than candlelight. So if you're really trying to impress people, you want really bright, vibrant colors. And Scheele's green really did that. They did a really nice job of that. Had a few shortcomings. It tended to, like I said, it would oxidize and turn black with time. But when it was new, it was very nice. But there's a couple... I saw the name of this company, and I'm like, this just sounds like a bad idea. So there's this company called Wilhelm Dye and White Lead Company. And all I could think of is like, well, we know how good lead is for us, so we have a dye company called White Lead. So they came up in 1814 with what is now known as Paris green. So if you really want to fall down the rabbit hole, look up Paris green death or emerald green death, and it's a really fascinating rabbit hole, and that's the rabbit hole I fell down. So these guys come up with the Wilhelm Dye and White Lead Company in 1814 come up with what's known as Paris green, which is kind of an evolution of Carl Scheele's green. And I forgot to mention that the main ingredient that makes Scheele's green work so well is arsenic. And if you study, arsenic, we all know how good arsenic is for you. That was kind of the secret ingredient in Shields green. And then Paris green comes along, and they're like, we're going to make it a little bit better. And you would think that they would make it better by getting rid of the arsenic, but no, the arsenic is what made it work. So they just kept the arsenic going and made a couple other things. And so Paris green came around. Paris green was a little bit brighter, much more popular. It was kind of like I said, it was the improvement of Shields green. Paris green was around for a while. So this is invented in 1814. And everybody's got to have the latest and greatest green. I mean, we all saw Bridgerton. We all know how important that the latest styles were. And I want to go back and watch it and see if anybody actually had a green dress in that, because given that it's a period piece, I'm wondering how many people were actually wearing green. So, where were we at? Wilhelm Dialed Company, 1814, comes up with Paris green, emerald green. Well, then they noticed people started, getting sick. Like, some of the signs of arsenic poisoning is like you vomit blood. I mean, it is like some grotesque stuff. In fact, I found like a mention of an article where, how they talk about, oh, she's killing it? Like, she looks good, she's killing it. Well, that does predate emerald green. Apparently that was, kind of a slang in Victoria, England, to be killing it or be killing in your dress. But it took a whole new meaning with the green dyes, because it was one of those, oh yeah, she's killing it, or she could kill you with her dress. And keep in mind, this green was in everything. It's not just in fabric, because the dyes used in fabric were also used in wallpaper, used in all sorts of different applications. And it was in the clothing that you had problems with it, because just coming in contact, it would give you ulcers, boils. It just did messed up stuff, blisters on your skin if you got a lot of it on there. A long-term exposure, like I said, you're going to vomit blood, and it's just awful. Lose your hair because it's long-term arsenic poisoning. So it came out in 1814. It wasn't until 1895 that England was kind of like, yeah, we've got to, or I think it was England. Anyway, one of the governments was like, we got to do something about this, because this is the people wearing it are dying from it. The production of it was killing people as well. It was just messing up people that worked in the dye houses that were making green. So in 1895, they finally regulated it and said, yeah, this isn't going to work. And that was kind of when Paris green kind of came to an end. It was already kind of on the out anyway by that time, because people had caught on that green, dye versus a nice green dress. I mean, it's surprising how many people took the nice green dress option. I mean, even they knew. It's a crazy story to read. Fall down the rabbit hole. It is bizarro how fashion versus dyeing, that people chose the fashion. But by 1895, everybody's realizing that maybe it wasn't that important to look good. But then by that time, regulation stepped in, and that was the end of it. It was not, like I said, on decline by then. But there's a good 70, 80-year span there where you've got this dye. And it was in 1822 when Wilhelm published the ingredients to their dye, which is 8 years after they introduced it. So 8 years later, they showed the ingredients. And everybody at that point is like, oh, here's the problem we're having. Look at the ingredients list. But that didn't stop people from still using it. So that was what I had for... And so it's a great kind of anecdote as I'm reading this, because I get to the Wikipedia page of Paris green, and it goes fabric dye, paper dye, insecticide. And I'm like, whoa, insecticide. Yes. Believe it or not, this Paris green made a comeback in the 1930s. And you know what it was used for? Killing rats. It was a rodenticide, which is a word I found. It's like rodent with a side on it, which I guess is like insecticide. You're going to kill rodents/rats with it. But yeah, they brought that back 40 years after they decided to regulate its production to use it as rat poisoning. That is the story of emerald green / Paris green / the green death. Yeah, the Radium Girls. Very similar. Yeah, the Radium Girls is interesting too. That one I'm aware of as well. I thought this one was more apropos because we were talking about fabric. Did you know, Eddie, the Radium Girls? That the Miss Atomic Bomb, the song by the Killers, is based on Radium Girls. Just a little side note, hence the name. That's what inspired it. Anyhow, that's all I have. Which Had my phone worked properly, I would have gotten the message sooner and prepared way better for this. But yes. But to go back to the original question, why are cutting mats gray? I have no idea. Honestly, I think it does have to do with the color green. That you do not see that a lot. I mean, you see green a lot, but there's a reason that we use green screens because green, certain tones of green are just not that common. So it's easier to see stuff when it's on green. But yeah, you're going to find most of the better mats now tend to be a gray or a. Most of the higher end mats tend to be a gray color. I say high end because I mean nothing wrong with an Olfa mat, it gets you started. But as you start cutting on different, I guess I could do a whole thing on cutting mats. Cutting mats are differences night and day from one mat to the next. One of my favorite cutting mats is a Martelli mat. We don't carry them in the store because they're expensive, but they are probably the nicest mat to cut on. Martellis are nice. The Quilter Select is nice. The Creative Grids ones are nice. Alphas aren't bad. They're a little bit thinner than the rest, and you can feel it in there. But like I said, so if you can spend a lot of money on a mat, and you can get them in really neat colors, but what they're made of makes a big difference.
I'm not the biggest fan of Quilter Select mats.
What's that?
I'm not the biggest fan of Quilter Select.
No, they seem to be a little bit heavier. They don't seem to.
Well, I don't like they don't have like enough of an edge around them.
Yeah.
And they're pretty slippery right now.
That's what I'm saying. They feel like they're harder than other mats. They don't have that nice. Yes, input from Eddie. He cuts things too, and he's like, I don't like Quilter Select, and he makes a valid point. The edge around it. Oh, we're rambling at this point. Yeah. So that was. I'm like I said. I'm fascinated with this whole dyeing thing. I might go down this rabbit hole again. Not really sewing related today. Well, I guess it is because it's textiles. And that's kind of all we had. I just wanted to get into that. It was a lot of fun. While you're all on there, could you let us know what Kimberbell kits you have that we can order? Do you have stabilizers? Getting ready to order. Thanks. Stabilizers. Our stabilizer right now is a little bit limited. Our stabilizer supply is a little bit limited. I'm on the Kimberbell side. I'm trying to get that stock back up. Stabilizers from a store standpoint are crazy. Yes. You do fabrics, but not Kimberbell. Yeah, we do We have all the Kimberbell fabrics, the Kimberbell basics we have here. But one of the things we run into with stabilizers, this is kind of a side note, is from a inventory standpoint, stabilizer is nuts because not only do you have a million different types of stabilizer, you also have it in usually at least 3 different sizes per stabilizer. So keeping track of all that can sometimes be a pain, and then ordering it, and then you order the wrong size. But yes, well, I'm trying to get stabilizers caught up on that. And what you'll find is Kimberbell fabrics are by Maywood. Yes, that is true. I'm like watching this, but yes, one of the things to keep in mind with stabilizer is one of the problems I ran into early. Well, not ran into, but one of the things you run into with stabilizer is you think there's just 3 basic stabilizers. Really, in my mind, there's 3 basic stabilizers. You've got wash away, medium weight tear away, and no-show mesh or some sort of poly cutaway. I know there's a lot more than that from what I just named, but in my mind, those are the 3 main ones because you can do just about any project with it. The problem with the explosion now in embroidery, as a lot of you are watching, is that there's specialty stabilizers for different projects. And so what will happen is one project comes out and everybody's got to do it, so then the specialty stabilizer blows up, and then I'm like, I got to get inventory on it, but because it's blown up, because it doesn't usually just happen here, it happens everywhere, getting inventory back on it is hard to do. And that's the problem with stabilizers. I'm a big fan of like simplifying life, and I wish we could do it with 3. But a lot of these projects you're starting to see you start to get into the specialty stuff, and when you start getting into that, then you start to find that there's back orders here, especially with supply chain issues, is when something blows up and we're a little late on it. You're playing catch up with your inventory. But yes, I am working on that, Deanna, to get our stabilizers situated with Kimberbell. I know I've got a bunch that's ordered. It should be in, I'm hoping, by the end of the week, but it's already Wednesday, so I'm going to say at the beginning of next week. Let's see, what else do we have? Other comments. See, I'm starting to understand how I watch a lot of these YouTube things and guys just sit there and read comments. I guess when you have enough people watching, you can get away with that. Yes, Kimberbell fabrics are by Maywood. No ums. We're gonna get another compilation. Let's see. Oh, on the Maywood fabric note, we are going to start getting in shadow play. I don't know if anybody of you have seen that. It's very similar to the North Cut Toscana, but I'm going to start bringing some of that in, maybe to replace Toscana. I haven't decided yet, but I definitely want to get some. We're going to get some in, and we're going to see how we like that, because Maywood makes beautiful fabric. It's nice soft fabric, and so you're going to see some of that. We are also. Yes, Quilt of the Week. No, I completely spaced on Quilt of the Week. I thought of Quilt of the Week about the time I was sitting down, and I saw that I had 15 seconds left on the clock. I'm like, no Quilt of the Week. Yes, the Bella Box you can order through us there should be a link from our site to order a Bella Box. Bella Boxes, if you're watching this and you aren't familiar with Bella Boxes, is a Kimberbell product that they ship directly from Kimberbell. They're really fun. They're fantastic. But you cannot get them in stores. You have to order them directly. But what Kimberbell has done, which is really nice, is because one of the things that's really good about Kimberbell is they really like to support local shops. So they have this great product, this Bella Box, which they've done really well with. But they also realize that they kind of cut out the shops out of that process. So what they did is, for shops that are Kimberbell affiliates or Kimberbell shops, is they gave us a link that if you use our link to order your Bella Box, we get a little bit of a kickback from it, which is kind of nice, because then I don't have to stock anything, and you get a really nice Bella, and you can get a Bella Box. And Bella Boxes are nice, but like I said, you have to get those directly through Kimberbell. But you can use our link from our website to order it. And there's a couple other things that Kimberbell does directly, but if you use the link off our website, we get a little bit of a kickback / bonus / I don't know. Lets us keep the lights on for another week or so. Yes.
That shadow play.
Shadow play, yes. So shadow play is I've got a few bolts of that coming in. We're gonna see how that compares to like the Toscana. Like I said, I like the Northcott Toscana. We've had it for years, and so we may be swapping some of the colors out to bring in shadow play, just to kind of do something new and exciting. So keep an eye out for that, especially if you like Maywood. It makes really nice fabric, so that was one of the reasons too. We got to change some stuff up, and so we might slowly be phasing out Toscana. The other thing is, while I'm sitting here just talking and rambling, which I feel awful about this, is keep an eye out for a sale. We've got if you come into the shop, the bottom shelf. One of the shelves on the bottom is a lot of discounted fabric. It's not really well advertised. It's just where we put stuff that's been here too long, and it's discounted a little bit. We are probably going to having a fabric sale here sooner than later, because I've got a lot of stuff that just came in. We've got to make some shelf space, and I've got some older stuff we kind of got to move out. So keep an eye out for that. Or next time you're in, ask me where the special fabric is at, and I'll point you to that shelf, and the prices will be pretty decent to encourage you to take larger quantities of it home, so I can free up some shelf space. So, but keep an eye out for that. We'll probably, when we do put it on sale, it's going to be on sale probably for about a week. If we are going to do a sale, and it's going to be really good, priced really well, because the idea is we blow it out and move it on. So keep an eye out for that. That might be coming up. All that being said, the other thing is we're going to probably start here pretty soon, staying open a little later on Thursdays. The plan was originally to do classes sewing Thursday night. So if that's something you're interested in, let us know, as we are going to, because that requires somebody to stay a little later. So we want to plan for that. So if we've got enough interest in that, we're definitely going to start doing that on Thursday nights. The other thing that made me think of something that I completely spaced on. What was it, Eddie? You have no idea. See, and then we just had dead air there.
Yeah.
I'm told that's bad to have dead air. That being said, the sewing center up and running. We've got the luminaires up. There's still a few kind of finishing touches we're doing to it, but the sewing stations are here. If you want to come in and sew, there's nothing on the calendar. Let us know. We're still working on a reservation system to be able to do most of this online. But until we kind of get that, just give us a call or swing in. If there's no class on the calendar, you can come in. You can sew. It's $15 to use the classroom, and with that $15, we include the use of one of our 1350 sewing machines. If you want to use the nice machines, which is they're nice. It's $35 for the day versus the 15, and it's well worth it because it's a brand, it's a luminaire, and it's nice and it's special. So come in and do that if you want. Invite a couple friends. We are working on setting up like mini retreat pricing as well. So if you want to get a group together, we are going to have a group rate for the classroom so that y'all can take it over for a weekend or whatnot. That's also something that we're working on to kind of encourage the sewing center side of things. So yeah, that's pretty much everything up on your site. Like, do you have the cowboy Christmas pillow, cup of cheer, spring one? Yeah. Oh, cup of cheer. I wanted to bring that up. Yes, we do have the cup of cheer Kimberbell kits. I guess, well, Danny, if you're watching this, we've been waiting to get the fabric kits from Maywood to go with the pattern and embellishment kits. But because of supply chain issues, I believe we're not going to see the fabric kits until we were supposed to get them in September. It said if we didn't hit the September delivery, we're probably looking at the first part of December. So we're not going to get the fabric kits because I'm going to cancel them. Cup of cheer does me no good the first week of December. We do have the patterns and we do have the embellishment kits for Cup of Cheer. We are not going to have the fabric kits. We might put something together in store for that, but the actual fabric kit, the official fabric kit, we're not getting that. We were on the list for that, but supply chain issues and all sorts of other issues, we didn't get in early enough on the list, so we were on the next print. Anyway, we're not going to see that, they think, until probably first week of December, so I've canceled that because it does nobody any good to make a advent calendar or start an advent calendar the first week of December. Anyway, other questions? Have I rambled long enough? Have I fulfilled my obligations to the fans? And I do apologize. Like I said, this is all on me today because Becky did let me know, but my phone was on the fritz and I just got it a couple minutes before, so I would have prepared something a little bit more in depth. But I hope you all enjoyed the story of the Green Death. I just love the way it sounds, the Green Death. And if, like I said, if you really want to fall down that, if you do want to fall down that rabbit hole, just look up Emerald Green or Paris Green Death. It's fascinating. It's and you start to understand too that the whole world of dyeing fabric, there's a whole rich history there that's really kind of crazy, and it's interesting. It's very fascinating when you start to think of we're now at digital printing, and where we're at now with digital printing versus where we started with mixing mud and berries to make our clothes look nice. It's very interesting. Anyway, that's all I've got. I could ramble on forever. I really appreciate you all watching and joining us. It means a lot to us. We have a lot of fun doing the YouTube thing, and it's really nice to see the support out there for it. I mean, it really is. It means a lot to us because some days when I first started this so long ago, just staring at the camera and talking to nobody, it was weird. but it really means a lot to have you all out there watching. So anyway. That being said, I'm going to sign off because this is that time of day. Which one am I on? The black one? That one there? I'll make faces. Anyway, are you gonna play me out? Do I have to do? Wait, hold on. You ready? Okay. So on and be excellent to each other.